Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my sister's baby shower after she told me I wasn't allowed to be involved? I'm 35, and my name's Caitlin. I have two sisters, Charlotte 33 and Ellie 28. Growing up, Charlotte and I were always the closest. Ellie is the youngest, and we've always had this kind of older sister-little sister dynamic where I try to look out for her, but she and Charlotte have always been kind of distant from me. That's a whole other story. So, about 6 months ago, Charlotte found out she was pregnant. I was overjoyed for her. I've been looking forward to the day I could spoil my sister's kids, watch her become a mother, and just, be part of all the fun stuff that comes with expecting a baby. I've always been really close with Charlotte, she's like my best friend, honestly. But something happened that I never expected, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. The baby shower situation. Charlotte and her fiancé, Ryan, started planning a baby shower, and I was super excited to help. I've always been the type to go all out for family celebrations. I love making events special, so I immediately volunteered to help her plan everything. Pick out decorations, organize the guest list, maybe even pitch in for a venue or a caterer. I was ready to make this an unforgettable day for her, because she's my sister and I love her. So, we had this conversation about a month ago. I was over at her house, and I was chatting with her about the baby shower. I said something like, "I'm so excited to help, just tell me what you need." I was ready to jump in and do all I could. Charlotte paused for a second and gave me a look I couldn't quite place. It wasn't angry, but it definitely wasn't the warm, familiar look I was used to. Then she said, "Actually, Caitlin, I think I need to talk to you about something." Her tone was serious, and I could tell this wasn't just about cake flavors or decorations. "Sure," I said, confused. "What's up?" "I don't want you to take this the wrong way," Charlotte started, and immediately I felt my stomach drop. That phrase always precedes something big, and my mind started racing. "Okay, you're starting to worry me," I said, sitting up straighter on the couch. Charlotte took a deep breath and then hit me with it. "I've decided that I'm not going to involve you in the baby shower planning at all. I don't think it would be a good idea." I stared at her. I was pretty sure I misheard her. "Wait, what? You don't want me to help plan the baby shower?" She nodded, avoiding eye contact, her hands folded in her lap. "Yeah. I mean, I love you, Caitlin, but I just think it's going to be too much. It's a big deal, and I need it to be perfect. I want everything to go smoothly, and I'm not sure we'll be on the same page about things." Now, I know my sister well enough to know when she's trying to avoid saying something directly. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, she didn't want me involved in her baby shower at all. "Okay, so I'm not even allowed to be there? Not even as a guest?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady but feeling the sting of hurt creeping in. This wasn't like her. Charlotte had always made me part of things. We've been through so much together. Charlotte hesitated, and her eyes flicked to the side. No, of course you're invited. You're my sister. But I just think it's going to be easier for both of us if you just come as a guest. You don't need to help out with planning." It took everything in me not to cry right there. I felt like I had been hit with a wave of rejection. I was stunned. I tried to laugh it off because I didn't know what else to do. "Oh, well. Okay, I guess. If that's what you want." But as I walked out of her house that day, I couldn't help but feel like I had been pushed aside. It was the strangest feeling of being unwanted, and the more I thought about it, the more it hurt. The fallout. After that conversation, I tried to give Charlotte space. I didn't want to overstep or make her feel guilty. But every time I reached out to her, I noticed she'd become more distant. She wouldn't respond to texts for days, and when she did, her replies were short and cold. It was like I didn't exist anymore. A few weeks later, I started seeing photos on social media. Charlotte had posted about the baby shower invites being sent out. She had asked our mom to help, along with a few of her friends. I was looking at the pictures of decorations, of my mom holding up little onesies and cutesy signs, and it felt like a punch in the gut. I couldn't help myself, so I texted Charlotte, "Hey, I noticed the baby shower invites went out. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still excited for you and I'll be there for you, even though I wasn't included in the planning. I hope everything goes well." I really thought I was being understanding. But Charlotte's response was the final straw. "Thanks, Caitlin. But you don't have to act like this is a big deal. I told you I didn't want you involved, and I'm trying to keep the peace. I'm just doing what I think is best for everyone." It stung, but I tried to keep my composure. "Okay, if that's what you think is best." That night, I felt sick to my stomach. I started replaying everything in my head. Had I done something wrong? Was I being too pushy? It didn't make sense. I had always been there for Charlotte. I had supported her through everything, from her tough breakups to her struggles at work. I was there when she needed a shoulder to cry on, and now, I couldn't even be part of the most important event in her life? The decision. A few days later, Charlotte's baby shower came around. I was sitting at home, still in a state of disbelief. The day had finally come, and I couldn't shake the feeling that she didn't want me there. I wasn't even sure if I was welcome. I had a few moments of back and forth in my mind. Should I go? Should I just show up and act like everything was fine? But the more I thought about it, the more it felt like a betrayal of myself. How could I show up and pretend everything was okay when my sister had made it so clear that I wasn't wanted? The emotional toll it had taken on me had been too much. So I did it. I didn't go. I stayed home that day, and I'll admit, I spent the entire time feeling angry and heartbroken. I knew it was her day, and I didn't want to steal her thunder, but I couldn't bring myself to pretend like everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. Later that night, I got a message from Charlotte. It was short, and to the point. I can't believe you didn't show up to the baby shower. You made it about you, and that's really selfish. I read it over and over again, each word sinking in deeper. I felt like she didn't even care about my feelings. And that's where I am now. I'm feeling like I'm being punished for something I didn't even understand. I've been trying to figure out if I was in the wrong here. Maybe I made it worse by not showing up, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pretend everything was fine when it felt like my sister had rejected me. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my sister's baby shower after she told me I wasn't allowed to be involved? I've been second-guessing myself for days. I just want to know if I'm wrong for feeling this way, or if I'm justified. I really don't know where to go from here. So, what do you think? Am I the a-hole?